Hey y'all, it's me. It's your girl, the real deal Lanita's Geese Reaction channel. Like, share, and subscribe. What's up, real deal? Man, I'm gonna tell you, y'all, I would have never thought that Tina Turner was 83 years old. My mama died at 83. I would these two women right here were some long living sisters. But Tina Turner was a legendary, man. We still doing her uh Ike and Tina at over there on TikTok. Y'all, let's listen to this is news reporting purposes, okay?
Has died at the age of 83. That news coming to us, according to her spokesperson, no cause of death was released. Now, the 8-time Grammy Award winner was known as simply the best.
Hold up, y'all. Let me see what they're saying.
Because you'll find that when you're free, your true creativity, your true self comes out. Yeah, she was someone who had seen an evolution through the years. She was born Anna Mae Bullock in rural Nutbush, Tennessee. She was living in St. Louis in the late 50s when she actually met Ike Turner, who was performing at a local club there. But as we have just mentioned, she revealed many years later, after the success of that group, that it was an abusive relationship, at which point she then went on to develop her own solo career, essentially reinventing herself and going on to a career as a solo artist in which she influenced generations of performers after her. She is survived by her children, Craig, who she um, welcomed with one of her former partners, Raymond Hill. She also has among her children Ike Jr. and Michael, who she adopted. Those were Ike Sr.'s children she adopted when they were married, and Ronnie, who she had together with Ike. Craig, though, died in 2018. Tina Turner, for her part, continued to create art even after leaving the stage. When she decided that she no longer wanted to perform, she said she devoted so much of her life to just making sure that other people were happy, that she wanted to look more inwardly at trying to become happy herself, leading to a book that she published called Happiness Becomes You. Yeah, and it was interesting. A few years ago, she actually sat down with our own Gail King at her home near
Beautiful.
Zurich, Switzerland. I remember this interview. It was fascinating to hear about her reflections on her own life. And in fact, at that time, they spoke of her then recently published memoir called My Love Story. And it's a book that Turner told Gail she had to be convinced to write. She did not actually think that she wanted to do it, but she told Gail, okay, this is what she said. I'll do it because there's still a lot to be said. But that was a moment of reflection in which she had an opportunity to look back on that 5-decade career, an extraordinary body of work from Tina Turner, really one of the biggest stars ever in music, selling more than 200 million records, an extraordinary feat. And as I said, an influential figure that generations after her would look to for her style, for her showmanship, for the energy and the vitality that she brought to her performances, but also famously, as we've talked about, what she had endured and the triumphs that she had despite some of those challenges, particularly early on in her career and her life. You know, when discussing her Broadway musical, there was an interview that she gave talking about what audiences, how they would react to seeing that violence on the stage. And she felt like it was an important part of her authentic story. And she brought so much sparkle, so much pizzazz. And when you think about her,
we would say as a solo artist, no longer part of Ike and Tina Turner, but a complete rebirth as a performer and as a musical artist. Very, very few people were able to change their sound to keep up with what was happening in the 1980s and retain the essence of what had made them a star in the 1960s as she had. And to do so and to become, on her own terms, a symbol of fierce independence and survival. We would now say that the stories that she told in her autobiography, she was not taken seriously and given her independence, even though she is the reason that Ike Turner became a star.
That's right.
His name is known because of what she did.
That's
the
right.
music they made together. And yet, she was not given her own agency. She was not given her own respect. She was not given her own power. She took those things at a time, as Richard Davies, her manager, points out, in 1980, when no
So
one
pretty.
was ready to take her seriously. She took herself seriously, and then she made the world take her seriously. And again, there are so many reasons to look to her and to be awed by her besides the music alone. And the music alone was enough. And I mean the music, what you hear on the records. We think often of the Tina Turner performance, which was earth-shaking and changed the way that many people performed on stage. Mick Jagger is very clear about the debt that he owes to her, as he owed to several other performers, icons, that he took and blended into a performance style of his own.
She and Oprah were friends too, y'all.
Tina Turner, you think of what she looks like, how she moves, how she sings. Those are three different things. Three different things, each of them major accomplishments.